So I wanted to back up and before I do, our favorite part on our team was when we went through some rapid questions with
Oh,
you.
yeah. Yeah.
Rapid fire. Oh my gosh, I love that part. So we're going to get to the rapid fire, and then I do want to open it for questions because everybody has their little, personal questions that they may be dealing with. Okay, so you mentioned papers, are a big issue with families, and just the paper is a whole other project, you said. So I've been seeing a lot of command, zones and things like that. So one team member on my team was like really intrigued with you were so organized, by the way, just giving us your list of how your process. And you mentioned on this about, developing a system for maintenance. So what kind of system that would change a behavior for mail, like just for example?
So for that, the number one thing is you have to be careful about what you let in. You just have to be careful about the paper, like physically let inside your house. So I think that if you're going to be brutal anywhere, it's with paper. And if you think about it, so say you have 100 sheets of paper. Think about 100 objects. So you can fit so much paper into the same amount that you can fit objects, that a lot of people, when the objects start getting big, that's when you're like, oh, I got to do something about that. But the paper, you're like, oh, I'll do it later. I'll do it later. And so it's really better just to get it done. And so if you don't let it in the house, that cuts down on so much there. So I suggest that either right outside the door or right inside the door, you bring your paper, you bring your kids' schoolwork or anything from work that you have, or whatever paper is coming in, stop right there and just take 5 minutes and say trash, shred, file later, recycle, whatever it is. Just have that little system right there to take care of 75% of it. And then it's much, much easier, but you have to do it every day or every time you get the mail, or maybe every other day. But it's one of those things that requires that maintenance, and just a simple little system like that. And even right there, you can have a command center, so that what do you do with the stuff you want to keep? Well, just have it there, and when that gets full, you actually have to do something with it. But it can just that would be an example of a simple system to put into place. And the rule of, if you can do it in 2 minutes, don't delay that decision. Don't delay that act. Just do it. Just do it. 2 minutes. And it really helps you stay on top of the clutter. It's a good rule. I like that one.
Cool. So yeah. Wow. Okay, cool. Okay, so some rapid fire questions. I wanted to go, not questions, but just go through with spaces of the house. Okay. I'm going to name a space in the house and tell me like your biggest hack in that space. Okay.
Okay.
Feel free to maybe say 2 if you really need to. Okay. First one, office.
Well, we just talked about 2 of the strategies, which would be, having a simple system and a command center, and then also making that decision. But also I would say strive for paperless. So we all know of like the bill pay. That is really important, because all of the bills that pile up as far as paper goes, but also scanning. And so you can scan, there's so many apps and so many ways to organize, after you scan, but there's not a lot of papers that you actually need to keep. There are some that you need, but there's so many that you could just scan, file, and go. And that includes kids' paper too, and being selective. We all love their little projects and their, the things that come home from school, but just, you can be selective about what you scan and toss and scan and keep and that kind of thing.
Wow. So there's a scan toss and scan keep category.
And again, your future self will thank you, because when it is time to go through your house and your adult kids are like, what, it's already scanned. You can put it in a folder for them and be like, look, I scanned all these for you. So if you want to throw them away, they're still here for you. But yeah.
Okay. So do you have a scanning what with a scanner?
A lot of times I scan with my phone. You
You
just
do?
scan and I pick a folder and it goes right into the folder that I want it to go into.
Okay. And what app do you use for that?
Mine is on my Google Drive. So, but there are lots of apps that do just this for you. And I mean, I don't have a favorite one, but there are a lot.
Hand scanner is a good one, kid friendly. I've just
Mm-hmm.
heard. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Closet.
My favorite thing in a closet is a donation basket. Just a basket in the corner in, the parents' closet, in the kids' closet, because they grow out of clothes so quickly. It's again that don't delay that decision. So if you know you don't like it and you're not going to wear it, or you've grown out of it or whatever it is, just throw it in the basket, throw it in the basket, throw it in the basket. And when that basket gets full, put it in your car, not in the trunk, put it somewhere where it's going to bother you. And then you will pull into a donation center and just donate it eventually. But I love that one. And then use felt hangers. I love felt hangers. It is a space saver. It's really a space saver. I like the uniformity, if you like that look, and things don't fall off. I love them. And then the hanging backwards trick. I don't know if you know that one, but you can hang all your clothes backwards. And then if you haven't worn it in a year, you can tell. And then you just think real hard about those. And then the buy one, donate one. I live by that rule. I do that myself. So.
Very good.
Mm-hmm.
Very good. Okay. Pantry.
Think vertically in the pantry. A lot of people don't think about like the back of the door or the walls going up, just to give yourself a little bit more space. And this is my favorite spot for risers, lazy Susans, and labeled baskets and bins. It really helps just to be able to reach things and see things and quickly go.
Oh, okay.
And throw away your expired food.
Oh, okay. So what's your little rule on that? No, well, obviously, if it's expired, throw it away. But what did you also say? Like, if you haven't used it in, if you haven't, oh gosh, that was something like if you haven't used it once, you're never going to use it.
I mean, if a lot of people will say, "Oh, I'm going to make this meal, and so I'm going to buy these kind of unique ingredients," and then they never use it. And I think that if you are taking, yearly is a good way to go through your pantry. I think yearly is good. And you're going through and you're just like, there is no way. And it's not expired. You can donate that. People will use that, So I try to encourage people to just keep what you're really going to use in your house.
Awesome. Okay. Next one is kitchen.
Kitchen. Prioritize the high use items and spaces. Like think prime real estate the whole time you're doing it. It's those really easy to reach places. That's where you want to put the stuff that you've used the most. And then we had talked about drawer dividers. That's really, really helpful in kitchens.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Drawer dividers, and you get those anywhere. I mean, no special ones.
Well, no, not really. And that's and again, I like to repurpose. So it's fun when I find things over the homes that I can stick in a drawer and it works beautifully. I mean, it's like a Tetris thing in space planning and, in your head. And we can geek out over repurposing. It's really fun. But this actually speaks to product planning. And so another common question I get from people who are just calling me or emailing me, what do I buy before you come? And I'm like, nothing, because you really have to, if you think about it, you have to go through those steps in order to get to the place where you know what you need. And so you want to know, like, what am I keeping? Where am I going to keep it? What are the measurements of that space? What do I want it? Do I want it to look Pinterest? Do I care? Do I, like all of those things go into planning what it is you're purchasing. So it really does take, I say you don't pre-buy.
No. Okay. All right. Next one, garage.
I would say, I mean, I think we touched on this, good shelving. So you've got to think about that vertical, good shelving, and then those clear bins so you can see what it is, and then those labels too. And it really helps. Those larger labels can really help you just be able to quickly get your hands on things and then contain things, as needed.
And what was your hack again? Put them in a business card in a plastic thing so you can switch it out?
Yeah, you can get them on Amazon even, or Staples or anywhere. They have they have different sizes, but in the garage, I like to get those bigger ones. And it's like an index card that can go in and out and change it as you need it.
Okay, cool. Thank you. All right, next one, bathroom.
Ditch
Bathroom.
what you don't use. That's a big one. Ditch what people have so much product and they don't even use it. So ditch what you don't use. And I would say definitely clear bins, and then underneath the sink. A lot of times people don't have any shelving, and you can create shelving in there. You can get different things, different pullouts to give yourself more room for those products. That's really helpful. That's what we do.
Great. Bedroom.
Oh, bedroom. In a bedroom, it's usually the closet that's the culprit, because everything kind of in the bedroom needs to go in the closet, and it can't go in the closet until that's taken care of. So typically it's that. But I would say I like to once a day kind of go through and put everything back where it goes. Things get, you're living in your space and that kind of thing. But I would say once a week, maybe, just put everything back where it goes, because there's really not that much I see in bedrooms that can't be corralled.
Okay, here's best for last. You ready? Laundry.
Oh, laundry. I like to have, one thing that I like to do, and this kind of seems radical to people, but is the sheets. Sheets can be an issue. And if you put keeping sets together and that kind of thing, if you put the sheets in the room of the bed that it goes on, a bottom drawer, up in the closet, just somewhere in that room, I find that really helps. It's a system that you can use to not lose sheets. I know people lose socks all the time. That's a thing I see in a lot of homes, is the socks. And I would say that you really it's one of those delayed things. People want to delay the laundry. And I think that, you dry the laundry. Some people run it like 10 times because they don't want to fold it and put it away. But I think it's that delayed thing. You just have to do it, and have a laundry basket in each room for each person. And it makes it much more manageable.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Okay, well, so we've been good 45 minutes of content. So thanks for doing that rapid fire. That was my team's favorite. So